I'm on my phones. All right, y'all. Listen, I hope you're ready for tonight. I'm just gonna get right into it, dude. We're just gonna jam through this thing because we got a big episode. There's so many notes. We were literally adding to it 2 minutes ago. Y'all, welcome to episode 80 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Huge show tonight. Sick Week 2025 dates are announced. Rocky Mountain Race Week World Series of Dragon Drive updates are coming. Blasphemy gets a huge update, and two guests with updates for the car community are tonight. It's going to be a great one. Mr. Eric, please hit that intro video. Let's get to this thing, man.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna pack things up and hit the road and try to make it the next day.
All right, guys, do what I was just doing there and hit the share button for us as we jump into this. Y'all, my name is Mike Narks. I am the host of the Drag Driver Pete Show and the Drag Driver Pete News, which happens on Saturday mornings. This Drag Driver Pete Show right here, 2 hours of solid drag and drive. It's your source for news and entertainment from the drag and drive community. That's just what it is. My co-host, Mr. Eric White, please introduce yourself.
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of both the show and the news, and I've been doing a lot of photography stuff lately, and we're going to talk a lot about that throughout the night. We've got some updates throughout the show, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. Well, y'all listen, we can't do this without you guys. The race car friends make our world go around. There's just something about late nights editing videos, which is what I was doing last night or night before last, and somebody making a comment on something at like 2 a.m. and you're like, I can't believe you're up at the same time I'm up. And I want to say thanks to all of our race car friends that are out there. And y'all, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. Our sponsors make this possible. Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Howard's Cam, talking to Luke B today. Got some fun stuff coming up for 2025. Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Y'all, they're awesome. They take care of us, everybody in that group right there. Just if you're spending money on car parts, hang on, I'm going back. If you're spending money on car parts, please spend it with one of these folks right here that's on your screen there. Please, 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 we'd appreciate that because it only helps us and it helps them as well. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. 200, been doing it a long time. They fuel your passion, they save you money, they deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Any kind of car part you want, any kind of car building you do, they've really taken a deep dive into off-road stuff lately. It's been kind of fun to watch that. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. You can find them on all the social media apps: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. They're all over. I love what Justin and the team over there do for the Summit Racing stuff. It's great. And then you can also tune in to the On All Cylinders podcast for more automotive discussions like you have here. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Find everything at summitracing.com. Dude, did you know
Including,
hoodies?
yeah,
That's right.
it's starting to
took
be the end of the year. It's going to start getting chilly, so you should probably get your hoodies now, so that way when fall comes around, you've got a new fresh hoodie to wear.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And t-shirts. I know we're going to have some 80s while we're there at Hot Rod Drag Week in a couple weeks, and so I expect to see some t-shirts and hoodies. Please, 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 Drag Driver Pete hoodies. Drag Driver Pete t-shirts with Summit on them. Y'all, this is the only place you can buy them right now. This is it. So if you want to support the brand, this is the way to do it. We appreciate Summit and all their help along with that. Um, pretty exciting stuff there. I really appreciate them coming on with all of us. And let's talk about this. Well, actually, hang on. Let's back up because you had something else there in the notes about
Yeah,
some breaking Summit news. Sorry.
yeah. I also had the drag driver Pete stickers in there, but I must have got
Well,
it all out of order.
no. I moved them down.
All right, all right. So breaking news, Tommy Dupree, our buddy over at Summit Racing, has put roughly 300 miles on his new build in preparation for Drag Week.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm excited about
that's
this.
exciting.
Yeah, he sold the Trans Am when he was on the show last time. What's that? 4 or 5 months ago now. The Trans Am was up for sale. He sold it. It's gone, and he's built this new vehicle to do some drag and drive stuff in. Built it literally specifically for drag and drive. So that was his whole goal in mind: is to go fast in something different. And I'm excited to help kind of unveil that. He's going to be on the show next week, even for just a few minutes to kind of give us some insight into the vehicle and what his goals are for it. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
All right.
it's so fresh we don't even have a picture of it yet. So,
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty fresh.
and then on the All Cylinders podcast, which you were just talking about during the ad read, um, ask away. So Jeff Smith is one of he was one of the original ones at
Hmm.
was it Hot Rod Magazine? Where was he
Hmm.
originally from? That's what I
Yep.
thought.
Yep.
So they've got this thing here, a Q&A section that says, how often should I change the oil in my car if it's driven less than 3,000 miles a year? That's me. My cars not get driven 3,000 miles a year, which is
Yep.
sad. I know, but so I thought this was awesome. They're suggesting that you should do it at least twice a year. And when you do drive it, try to get it up to temp so that the oil can burn off any water or contaminants that it has from sitting. So I thought that was great advice, especially for me. Like I said, the 240 doesn't get driven enough. The Mustang is, all torn apart right now. But even when
Yeah.
even when it was together, I didn't put enough miles on it. So
Well, and I think that's what's great about drag and drive stuff, right? It kind of forces you to at least drive it 1,000 miles at one time. Later in the article, it does talk about the reason you want to drive it, uh, get it up to operating temp when you're driving it is because all of the contaminants and things like that. But it basically says you don't have to letting it sit there and idle is not doing anything. You need to actually drive it and have it do some RPM. Clean the cobwebs out, Mister Officer. Sorry, haven't driven it in a while. Throttle pedal stuck.
yeah,
I'll clean those tire marks up later. Yeah, so great article here. Obviously, love the team at on the On All Cylinders. It's not just a podcast; it's an entire website putting all that.
NHRA's NHRA stock here says 3,000 miles is 1 week for Rich Guido.
Yeah, literally, it's like 4 days for him. I think when he went to when he went to Yellow Bullet or
Yeah.
Yellow Belly, Yellow Belly. All right. Well,
Yellow
moving
Bullet. We
on.
talking about forums again?
Yeah, Yellow Bullet and the Yellow Bullet Nationals are this week. We're doing a lot of stuff with the Midwest Drag Race Series, so that's kind of on my mind. Yellow Bullet, Yellow Belly, they're pretty close. Sadly, I hate to even talk about this, but
Yeah.
Harry Haig and Andrew Baumgardner passed away this last week. This is one of the saddest things. Like that dude was always having a blast. So I went back through the footage that I took in I think Drag Week 2022 and kind of compiled that and put some sappy music over it. And I'll be posting that on our YouTube channel later. But with some, oh man, he was a great dude. He was always having fun. He was fun to watch. I mean, I'm not gonna say we were friends at all or anything like that, but it was really cool. Like the one of the videos is four of those dudes climbing out of Steve-O the Chevelle, which is really fun to watch as you're going through there, especially when it's 2 years later and you hadn't even thought about it, and then this happens and just it sparks that kind of stuff. So here's what I'm gonna tell you, and Jonathan Stonecipher says it all the time. Listen, talk to your buddies. If you have race car friends that are out there and you hadn't talked to in a while, text them. Let them know, hey, please talk to me. Let me know what's going on. All that kind of fun stuff. So just out there, right? It's sad to see that this happened. He was taken too soon for sure. I mean, it's really a just a bad situation. I mean, like all the stuff they had going on in Australia, was really being pushed by him a lot.
Hmm.
They were hosting their second event in October. I mean, I'm sure they're still going to host that event, but like all of his work that he did here in the States, it was making its way to Australia. So now hopefully that they'll take that feeling that they're having right now and really pour it into the community that he helped build. I mean, there's a lot of people that are friends with him and will be lifelong friends because of drag and drive racing, and he was a big part of that. So sad to see this. Our condolences go out to the family and friends. I mean, that he touched a lot of people all over the world. So anyways, that's sad news. Hate to make those remarks, and that always a bad deal. Let's talk about some fun stuff though. You want to lead us into oh no, sorry, this is me. We're gonna talk about your stuff here in a second. Sorry. The Havlicks video, y'all. I don't know if I've spent um hours and hours editing stuff like this in a long, long time. The Havlicks video has dropped. It is an hour and 4 minutes. Like
Wow.
it I had all these grand plans of like doing voiceovers and me being out here in the podcast room and us doing kind of this. And I was like, I can't, I can't edit on this video anymore. I mean, it's taken me what, 10 days, 12, 17 days to get to this point where I could even get it finished up. So long time working on that thing. I hope everybody enjoys it. It's really just kind of a simple recap. I mean, there's just a lot of videos chopped together. One thing I will say that I enjoyed about what we did throughout the day is we talked to different racers throughout the day, different conversations and things like that. So you can get those, but then in this video, and then also we did a live stream where we walked the pits and talked to everyone kind of in the pits. And then I've updated that video to also include timestamps, so you can go through there and kind of see your favorite racer and the timestamp of where they'll be. So anyways, if you haven't had a chance, go watch just a few minutes of this video, and don't tell me what you think about it. Just know that we had fun making it. That's all you got to know.
Yeah. And on the topic of Havlick's fastest streetcar shootout, the last of the photos from this event will be dropping tonight after this show. So I finally got through editing all those photos. I am going to make a post later just comparing some before and after photos, um,
Mm.
just so people can see what goes on, with editing some of these photos, because I know it's taken me a month to get out all the photos, but I feel like the product that got put out was on point. So I think it's
I
worth
mean,
it.
dude, look at that
Yeah.
photo. See right here. And
Yep.
for the folks that are listening on the podcast, just jump over to YouTube. Look at this stuff, man. It's so good, dude.
Yeah. And, this was one of the pictures that we discussed about potentially making a poster out of. Somebody from the event has requested a poster of their vehicle. So the site that we were going to use to order posters from, I will have a sample coming so I can see how the quality is. I'm hoping it's as good as, the quality of the picture, but I want to make sure before we start selling anything that it meets our approval for that quality. So if this poster comes out and it's beautiful, then we're going to be picking either this photo or the photo of the side shot down the side. And I think we're going to put up a poster option on the Drag Drive Repeat store to order one of those. So if that's something you're interested in, we will make an announcement, but keep an eye on the website as well on our store.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think there's there's just shots that come from that. I keep telling Eric I want to do like a limited print number deal, and I mean obviously he's like, yeah, that sounds great. Now do it. But the I think if we offered something really cool and really unique from some events throughout the year, maybe not every event, but sometimes like some of these photos just speak to me, man. You know what I mean? They speak to everybody. These photos are great, and so we're gonna look at that. I hope that poster is great quality because man, I'd love to do that for folks. All
Yeah.
right, and well, hang on. Let's back up to that photo. Do you want to talk about what we're gonna do next? Maybe what we're gonna do for Drag Week.
So we've been tossing around this idea, and we think we're going to at least put it out here and get feelers, and we'll go from there. Um, we put out a lot of photos from these events, and we decided that we are going to start offering photo packages. Obviously, a lot of other photographers do this. It's a way to help support us again, but we're It's live on the website now currently, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So it's 200, or what was it? 300. I think we've got it set at 300.
Hmm.
You're guaranteed um, pictures at each racetrack. So again, this is our first time doing it, so we just want to put it out there, give it a shot, see how it works. So for Hot Rod Drag Week, we're going to try to get maybe just a couple. We're not going to go crazy and try to do a ton, but if you would like a photo package of your vehicle from Hot Rod Drag Week, the link is in the chat here. You can go over and check that out. Again, this is just one more thing that we're trying to do to again help us get to all these events. It's
Yeah.
we talk about it all the time. It's time consuming. It's expensive. I spend what almost a month editing photos
Yep.
from this event, and it was only probably 1,500 that gets posted,
Yep.
and we're gonna have 5-6,000 to go through from drag week at a minimum. So it's just one
Yep.
more option for you guys to guarantee get photos of your vehicle on the event, and B, help support us.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really fun. One, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Eric to kind of stretch his legs as well, but it's also going to help cover some of the costs on building that Mustang for Drag and Drive. So that's kind of the push. You guys have seen me saying that in about every post I've made about the store. That truly is what this whole thing is about. For me on my side, I know for Eric on his side, it's about progressing and getting better. And to do that, you just got to take more photos, and you got to sometimes you got to put it on the line, and that's what I feel like we're doing here with this. So yeah, right now I've listed four packages on the website. So we're not going to do any more than four, maybe five, simply because we've never done this before, so we don't know what to expect with it. So anyways, if you want to do that and support us that way, we'd appreciate it. All that money goes directly to Eric and helps him fund all of the stuff that he's got going on, and get you some really banging photos, man. I'm telling you, some of the stuff that you've come out with from the Havlicks is awesome and over the top. um, but while you're in the store, you can go to dragdriverpete.com. You can also look at all the daily dose notes and articles and all the stuff that we put over there, all the video links, everything. But you can also jump in the store and pick up some decals or keychains, which is another great way for Eric to get photos of your car if you're going to be at an upcoming event that we will be at. Having these decals on your car, I mean, guaranteed way to get a photo. I'll tell you right now, because as you can see, these are on the hood of my old truck and give no relation to what size these are. So I told Eric, I was like, man, the first car we see with these decals on them gets a free photo shoot. I don't know what that even means, but we're gonna like find a cool spot on the first parking lot that we see the first decal, and we're gonna like make these people stand by their car. We're gonna make it look good, and because we need that for coverage and we need that for photos on the website as well. So if you want to, dragdriverpete.com/store. Okay, let's move on, dude. Driven Racing Oil event updates.
All right. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off road and circle track, or pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, then enhanced with state of the art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. As you guys know, you can follow Driven on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or you can head over to the website, drivenracingoil.com, and check out their Labor Day sale, 25% off all of your web orders through a Monday. So if you're in the position for getting oil, or you just want some cool merchandise, they've got a ton of cool stuff there. Yep, hats. They've got the American flag eagle T-shirt, which is pretty awesome. So oil, merchandise, either way, 25% off all of those web orders.
Yep. Yep. Pretty awesome.
And what else is really awesome is Driven is the class sponsor of the Dragon Drive class at Holly LS Fest. So this is pretty cool. It's the form. It was formerly known as the True Street event. It's a heads-up class to test the durability of your build. All entries will participate in a cruise inside the facility or be made to idle in the staging lanes for an extended period of time. Then you make back to back passes down the track where they're looking for the fastest average. So, slightly different from our normal definition of a drag and drive, but nonetheless, still street cars, doing these races, fastest
Mhm.
average. You need DOT legal tires, full bodied cars with stock body panels, no dragsters, roadsters, or alters. Drag and drive entries receive a grudge test and tune free of charge for the remainder of the event after that class is completed on Saturday.
Yeah, and what's really funny about this is I know that events reach out to sponsors all the time and ask, hey, can you please send some product or money for this? And so when I reached out to the Driven team, I'm like, dude, I didn't know you guys did this, and they're like, we didn't either, but that's great. And so obviously we love the team at Driven. They're awesome over there, and a huge part of the Dragon Drive community. So they're part of our program here. They're part of Sick the Mag. I mean, they do a lot of event coverage and everything like that as well. So super cool. And they just named uh Bryant Goldstone, part of Team Driven. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, well, let's jump through this real quick. Dragway Rush just happened over the weekend. You guys know that we had them on last week, so I'm going to run through this because we're getting a little bit behind because of all my ramblings. So Dragway Rush standings are out. Jess S Photography is beginning to edit all the photos. Said she took more than 1,000 a day, which sounds about right for photographers. I I don't know. Eric took 3,000 on the day on Saturday of Havlik, so maybe she needs to bump it up. But here's what I'm saying. We're going to run through the class winners real quick. Lots of classes here. I would love to go back later, maybe next week, and break this down, or maybe after drag week or after super week, I guess is what we're going to call it, and kind of break down these classes, see what was different. I liked a lot of the names. So, fastest car overall, they got that super cool trophy we talked about was Aaron Ahuja in a 2019 Corvette with a 951 average. Big tire was Fedon Fedon Barisa 2015 Mustang with a 1082 average. Tiny tire, which obviously 235 there, is Michelle Henderson in a 70 Nova. Way to go, lady. Love that. 1165 average there. Super Street, Aaron Ahuja in the 2019 Corvette with a 951 average. Obviously, I said that a minute ago. Front wheel drive, Clint at McAdams. That's one of the classes I want to talk about and see if that's, because that's been asked on the Rocky Mountain Race Weekers page is like, hey, if that came back, would that be something somebody be interested in? So front wheel drive, Clint McAdams, '04 Neon SRT4. Take you back a little bit, right? 1345 average for him. All wheel drive. We had this happen at the circuit. They had it happen there too. Last man standing is Garrett Gagnon with an '08 Subaru Impreza. None of the other guys made the event or made it to the end of the event, so he didn't either, but he made it further. So that's what helps. Leaf Spring winners Jason Kronheimer in a 96 C1500, 1137 average there. Modern swap, I want to know about that class too. Isaac Thiessen in a 72 Ford F100. There's just something about Thiessens. They just go fast automatically. 1160 average for him. Gear Jammers, Benny Geisbrick, 2015 Ford Mustang with a 9999 average. So he's like, I don't want to run 10s at 999.9. Heavy hitters, Rick Howard in an '06 Magnum, which is pictured here. Love the new front end on the Magnum. Super cool. 1195 average. Naturally aspirated class winner, Al Lewis, '09 Challenger with a 1211 average. Gasser class, Chris Highland in a 55 Bel Air. Primo gasser stuff there. 11 or a 1582 average. So seems slow, but hey, whatever. Hot rod class, Wayne Davidson, 1940 Chevrolet with a 16.1 average. Come on. And then daily driver, last class on the list here, Steve Klein, 63 Ford Falcon with an 036 difference, 0.036 difference between, I would think probably his slowest pass and his fastest pass. So kind of
Yeah.
cool. So congratulations
Dra-
all winners of Dragway Rush.
yep. Dragway Rush right here saying huge success all around. Dragway Rush 2 is definitely happening. Thanks to everyone. And then we've got Scott Story here saying I broke on my way last day on my way to Grand Bend for Dragway Rush.
Dang, man. That's cool. Well, it's exciting. Hey, it's breaking news right here. Dragway Rush 2 is going to happen. We'll
Yep.
have to have Chris back on and kind of give some details around that and some of the things they'll change. All right. Drag
Yep.
Week 2024. We just talked about this. Again, photo packages are available. Sorry, I had moved that down in the notes there.
Yep. That's our next event that we're going to be at, and it is
Mhm.
coming up soon.
Yeah, very soon.
So Super Week updates. Again, that's what we're calling this week of 3 national level events. So Redwood Rally obviously is one of those. Check out these decals that they have for
Dude,
the track pass
I love
count.
this. Love it.
Yeah. So track pass count and then your fastest pass of the day.
Yep. So I don't know. Do you put this on the outside of the car or is this something that you'll keep inside? You know what I mean? Like, could this be something that you would put, on the refrigerator later? Thought
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. So super neat idea. I love the coloring. I love that they're all different colors, all different sponsors, all that kind of stuff.
Yep, that is super cool. And then Heather had mentioned that she is getting all the registration booth stuff printed, organized, and packed, coordinating the last big merch order, logistics with employees and volunteers, getting driver swag bags prepped, getting raffle items ready and packed. So she's been extremely busy doing that kind of stuff. And then Jesse showed us some of the secret stuff going on for the 2024 trophies. And you guys are going to have to fight over them because those are going to
Yep.
be pretty awesome. And there's going to be more trophies this year than in the past.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. And based on what he showed us, man, I'm telling you, folks are going to want that.
Yeah, it looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, and no, we're not giving out clues.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait and wait till those are out so that you can see them.
Yep. And then also they have a live stream being produced by Radical Speed, which they said was some really cool, innovative ideas working. So I
Yeah,
love that we're looking at all this new stuff that's coming. Larry Throckmorton, y'all, that's my old boss right there. Hey, buddy. Hey, boss, how you doing? Drove
hey,
through, I think where he lives now, the other day and thought about him. Well, that's cool, man. Hope he's doing great. All
yep.
right.
That live stream thing really had me kind of interested on when they said cool, innovative ideas working. So I'm excited to see what they got.
Yeah, and just staying on Super Week real quick, think about what's going to happen that week. So you have Hot Rod Drag Week that races in the morning, and Adam Dory went over this last night on his podcast as well. But you race in the morning at Drag Week, and I think Redwood Rally, and then as that's winding down, Rocky Mountain Race Week is winding up because you race, 8 to 3 at Drag Week, and then it's 3 to 11 for Rocky Mountain.
Yeah,
So it's literally 15 hours of drag and drive coverage every day for the week of September 15th through 21st. Like it's dude, it's I say it all the time, it's going to change the game. It's going to change the way things happen. They're changing the way drag and drive happens. It's going to be so cool.
yeah. I feel bad for all my non-car friends on social media because this is going
Uh,
to be a brutal week for y'all.
oh, yeah, I just unfriend me now. Block me. You don't because it's I mean, to think of all the coverage that that's 900 cars we're going to be able to talk about all day every day. And we're
Right.
going to be at an event, so it's going to be even worse for everybody. We're not going to be just sharing stuff. We're going to be there live streaming all that kind of stuff on from our phones and maybe late
Yeah.
at night in the parking lot. Who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have to do night updates from the
Yeah,
day and then morning updates from the night before. So you might get to see a lot of our mugs
yeah.
live
Don't you
streamed
threaten me.
throughout that week.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get going because we got the boluses on here in just a second. All right. Sick Week 2025 dates have been announced. I'm excited about this. Eric and I have been working back behind the scenes trying to figure out when we're going to do this. And the plan as of right now is for Eric to attend his first Sick Week as Sick Week 2025. So I'm pumped about this. Again, still working out the logistics of all this, but if you want him to do that, let's get some peer pressure going over there. So they posted out the world's quickest streetcars will converge on Florida and Georgia for the Super Bowl of Drag and Drive from Monday, January 27th to Saturday, February 1st, 2025. Voted best motorsports race by USA Today for 2024 and Drag Illustrated's Event of the Year 2023. Sick Week is the ultimate streetcar battleground.
Oh yeah. And Sick Week is just the start of this. So they had a post that said that it's going to be, what was it, the first of 4
Yeah.
full week long events this year. So
Yeah.
that's going to be pretty sweet. So get ready for some cool announcements coming that will get your streetcar year started with the sickest way possible. They're going to have the full list of tracks out very soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's saying entries will open up in late September, which is what everybody's going to ask for next. Is when is registration? Late September. I would imagine they're going to get through drag week, and it will be sometime, maybe that next Saturday morning or something like that. You know, when one guy's garage is going on and back to the streets is happening.
It's a busy month.
We're stacking them up, baby. Let's go. Well, in Rocky Mountain Race Week, Mega Week, I don't know what, yeah, I think that's probably the World Series of Drag and Drive dates will be announced in quotations from Matt Frost's mouth himself or from his fingers. He texted me. He said, very soon. I don't know what that means, but I'm hoping that means that we're going to get something in the next few days. I would think that's what that means from him. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that. 600 cars on property doing a drag and drive. It's going to be
Oh
wild,
yeah.
man. It's going to be
Yep.
wild.
And in other Rocky Mountain Race Week news, Matt Frost himself made a post about possibly hosting a regional event in Colorado in September, since they'll only be doing the June event this year, saying that would allow them to get some mountain drives in. That is going to be sweet if they can pull that off.
Oh man. Listen, when you have like there's like regional promoters, right? And then there's national level promoters. When you have like the regional events will elevate if Matt does a region like a weekend style event because he's talking like 300 cars for that. I can't
Or,
like I can't.
right.
I'm nervous about 200 cars for the circuit, and this dude's like, "Hey, you think we can get 300?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, no problem." I think it's going to be so cool. And again, with a regional event, all you need is one mate. You could do it with one track. So
Hmm.
they could do Pueblo, Loop, Pueblo, Loop, Pueblo if they want to do three
Yeah.
days. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. I am torn because if we make Sick Week happen, Rocky Mountain Mega Week needs to happen,
Oh yeah.
and I've wanted to go to a Rocky Mountain through the mountains. So,
Hmm.
uh, RIP to my vacation time for 2025.
It's already ruined. I love it. And we ain't even seen all the dates for everything else yet. Well, speaking of 2025, let's talk about the circuit 2025 because things continue to happen over there. Here's the deal. I'm locking down the classes. No more classes will be added after September 1st. If you are interested in opening a class or having your own, hey, this is the way I think this should go, you can do that. You just need to get with me before September 1st because I'm dropping all of the classes and rules that morning. And my plan is to lock in those class rules for the majority of the classes, the ones I think that would stay no matter what, like the ones that aren't built on somebody else's idea for 3 years. So the rule package that I'm put together is going to be together for a while so people can build around that class. People can build a card that's, they're not worried about changing it between my event and Rocky Mountain or Drag Week or something like that. So the Circuit 2025, we're adding two more classes. So we're keeping you versus you, right? Because I love the way that is set up, and it allows somebody that runs 1230s to run 1230s. They're not having to chase an index, but almost half of the cars raced in that class, and we're only awarding the top three. So I got to called Jonathan Sonsai for like a 45-minute phone call with him kind of talking about what could be done to help spread that out. And one thing that we can do to help spread it out is I'll talk to these racers. Like if a class has low car count, I'll reach out to some of the other racers that their car would fit in that. And so I'll do better at that for 2025. But also we're going to add 2 index classes. So I went through everybody's time, everybody's quarter mile time, because that's what we're racing this year. Everybody's quarter mile time, and saw, which had the largest grouping, like, you know, 3/10 faster and 3/10 slower. I feel like that's a range you could probably make up. 12.0 index is set in stone. We're doing that. That will come out this weekend. But the one that's up in there is 11.0 index or 13.0 index. So if you're a member of the Circuit Racers Facebook group, jump in there, vote on that. The reason I'm doing it in there is because I know those folks are coming or have been to or intend to come to the circuit event in the near future. So if you're part of that group, jump in there, vote on that. I'd love to have another 2 days of voting is what I'm going to allow. And then we'll see what adds. And then I'll drop that on Sunday morning, September 1st is the plan to release all of the classes and rules. And again, those are going to be locked in for 3 years, similar to what Drag Week does, simply because it makes it easier to build a car around. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to offer the people that are in that U versus U 70 plus car grouping some opportunities, some options without having to go crazy and offer everything like Rocky Mountain does. And so we're keeping it at a, 00 index style, because I want people to use the circuit. I want people to be able to use the circuit as a test bed for Rocky Mountain. So it makes sense to run the same index style classes that they do over there. So, anyways, I'm excited about that. The circuit is really starting to pile up, and we're only 7 months from it, and I'm already anxious.
Speaking of other events for my 2025 vacation,
Oh
can't
yeah,
forget the circuit.
yeah. Thursday and Friday that week, you'll need to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma for sure. So
All right.
that's only 2 days. It's not bad.
Molly Motorsports. So we're going to hit the ad read, and we got some cool stuff in here to talk about. Attention high performance enthusiasts and racers, meet the Molly Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are either made from 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or the 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. Tailored for various engine families from small block Chevy to Volkswagen and Audi, Molly has you covered. What sets them apart? It's their forged pistons, graphol coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Unleash the power within. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for all of our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
All right.
So
Tell us what these are, dude. I don't even understand how this works.
yeah, so Molly had made a post on Facebook, and I thought this was pretty cool. Whenever they make any of our sponsors make like some technical posts, we like to share those out because for me, this is all new to me. So these are gas ports. So this post was about all the gas ports. So it says gas ports improve the top ring seal by directing cylinder pressure in behind the top ring and pushing it out against the cylinder wall. So there's two types of piston gas ports. There's the vertical and the lateral. So the vertical gas ports are located at the top of the piston with the air shafts that end at the back of the top ring groove. The vertical ports are faster at directing pressure behind the ring, but are not used as often due to the high probability of clogging with carbon and combustion residue. So the other one is lateral or horizontal ports, and those are located at the top edge of the first ring groove on the piston. The lateral ports are more commonly used and do not have the same clogging issues as the vertical. So both types of ports allow pressure to get in behind the ring more easily and push it out against the edge of the cylinder to create that better seal. So the trade-off is that lateral ports take longer to channel cylinder pressure behind the ring than the vertical. But
Yeah.
overall, both are effective ways to improve your ring seal and increase power.
Yeah, I saw this and this was over my head. So again, Eric's putting pistons in the Mustang, and so we had this conversation with Molly. So it's a great way for you to learn. And then I'll just
Yeah,
ask you what the heck all that stuff means. But it makes sense. But I would think that this would end up with a situation where your ringland on the edge would be weaker, but I'm sure those guys at Molly have that stuff figured out. And maybe that's what this helps relieve is the weak edge of the ringland. I don't know.
Yep, maybe we got to have Eric back on and talk some more piston stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
All right,
All
you
right.
want to hit the co-pilot spotlight?
Oh man. Did you see this the other day? Tony Angelo and Mike Finnegan back together again working on Blasphemy. So
Hmm.
Tony Angelo, obviously, famous co-pilot of Mike Finnegan's. They've done a ton of this stuff together, and it's always fun watching those dudes hang out. But Tony Angelo made a post on his Facebook saying, "Drag week testing with Finnegan!" Exclamation point. Drag week testing? Yes, please. He said, "Just flew to North Carolina to rock with Finnegan on some drag week prep before we take his 55 on this year's gauntlet. Transmissions lifted so far 0. That's always a plus. But then in the photos that were posted accompany to that and also on Finnegan's page is that Blasphemy no longer has a solid front axle.
I saw
This is
that.
wild to me, man. I love this. I mean, obviously it fits the rules because you need you need lifted front end, you need longer, all that kind of stuff. Like it has the look for sure. I think this is probably going to make this thing drive worlds better.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be much better for this. So I'm excited to hear that they're going to be at Drag Week. Hopefully, barring anything breaks between now and then, they do have another 8 days or something like that before they need to leave. So those dudes, they're going to tear something up, and it's going to be a lot of fun, kind of getting to hang out with them again. And they're one of the cars. Obviously, we'll be following around because everybody loves Blasphemy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to holler at the bucket list mob here. Yes, we do have a gasser class. I'm not going to give out the stuff on it, but I'm not going to be as particular for the gasser stuff for 2025. That is one class I'm looking at. If we have the car count, I'll look at doing some period correct type stuff for the circuit 2026. But it's going to take a big car count because that's typically not what we've seen in the past for that class. Oh, hey, Steve Transon here saying he's watching from a cruise ship. Dude, I'm so jealous. That sounds awesome, man. Well,
Sound
we're sitting here in the podcast room.
Yeah, sounds like somebody's got their car ready for drag week already.
Yeah. It's either that or Dustin's at home just thrashing.
That's true.
All right. Well, let's bring on our first guest of the evening. This is kind of a really cool conversation because has to do with new racetracks being opened up. And obviously, we know Palm Beach International Raceway closed kind of abruptly last year or the year before. So it's going to be fun. I think it's 2022, actually. So 2 years ago, closed. And our lady on the ground, Miss Dawn here, tell us what's going on. Tell us what all is happening down there and all the fun stuff that you've seen.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Eric. Thanks. Nice to meet you, Eric. We went to a public hearing on August 20th regarding the track. It was proposed. It's called 20 Mile Bend. It's 223 acres that were proposed. So the drag and drive community really showed up for this event. We had the entire commission hall filled. They had overflow outside, and now the 12th floor was completely full of drag racers and regular racers and ATV racers and everything else, trying to get the county commission to approve this. The county commission, opened it up to different people to speak, and everybody spoke, regarding the safety of the track, how a track can, bring people together and families together. And it's actually the 20 Mile Bend is a racetrack, a drag strip, an ATV track, and also autocross. So you had different people from all areas of racing come out and speak about it. This county commission, was all for having a drag racing facility. However, they indicated they were not in the business of funding a drag racing drag strip. There was a bunch of things that needed to be done to 20 Mile Bend. There's muck there, so it had to be demucked, and environmental things. So what they did do is they voted to do a request for proposal. And if there's no interest in the request for proposal, they're going to bring it back in front of the county commission. and they're going to see if they can get some of the big items, the environmental items, paid for. They're looking for a developer to just develop the land and pay for all the different requirements that the county has, infrastructure that the county has. There's electric that's there's a shooting range down the street from that's a Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. So there's, electric there that would have to be trenched over, and they want the developer to pay for everything. They didn't really want, the county didn't want to pay for anything. The county indicated we're not in the business of building racetracks. Although the impact it would have on the county, the economic impact was $130 million. So there was, a big pie of money that the county could have had given to them, and it would have brought people in $9 billion in hotel rooms and stuff like that for events. We've all been to events and seen the hotels and, seen the people come out, and even the people just coming to watch come from different places. When we did drag and drive events last year, people were coming from England, France, all over the world to come see this. And it would have brought the people to Palm Beach County. Now people in this area have to drive 3 miles to go to Orlando, or 5 hours. I'm talking hours. I apologize. 5 hours to go to Bradenton. And then we just found out this week that Immokalee is going to close. So that's another racetrack going by the wayside. It was sad to see that all the work that Madeline Marcone did, we found out about it from our George Landis on his show that he does on Tuesdays regarding the track. And that's why we kind of jumped in with both feet and said, we want to save it because we don't want to drive that far to be able to go drag racing. It's inconvenient and time consuming. And, we had a racetrack right in our backyard, and it's gone to build warehouses that are not even full, by the way.
Well, and that's what drives me. That's what drives me crazy. Is like, why would it be? That's a perfect area to put a drag strip. Is somewhere industrial that's not going to be encroached on by houses in 15 years, and it's in the middle of warehouse country out there. Like, it'd be perfect for that.
Yes. However, where 20 Mile Bend is, there is a community. But when Palm Beach was there, there was no environmental impact on any of the animals or anything around it. There was communities right around Palm Beach Raceway, and it was a great place to go to. So it was very sad to see all the hard work that Madeline Marcone did and the Palm Beach racing community did to try and get this approved. And the county commission did do a request for a proposal, but I don't see that going anywhere. And so we won't have a racetrack down here.
Man, that's
sad.
Not good.
Yeah. Not good. But, we still have Orlando. We still have Bradenton. So we have somewhere to go. 3 hours away. But we're glad, So hopefully, maybe something will change. Maybe everybody, if you continue to write your commissioners, make sure you vote. The people on the Palm Beach County Commission, every one of them voted 2 years ago when Palm Beach was ready to close that they wanted a racetrack. They needed a racetrack in Palm Beach County. And when it came to getting the job done, they didn't get the job done. They left everybody hanging in the wind. So remember to go out and vote and, get people in there who are going to help you and help your community.
Yeah.
But,
well, thanks for...
it's very sad. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, thanks for jumping on and giving us that update and letting everybody kind of hear about what's going on with the tracks there.
I appreciate you guys having us on. We appreciate that you guys posted it and helped us get the word out to get as many people that, as we did have him show up for the county commission meeting. So we appreciate everyone's effort trying to help us keep our racetrack in Florida, in Palm Beach County. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, let us know what else we can do to help with that as well going forward.
Absolutely. I'll let you guys know for sure.
Awesome. Don, thanks so much. Will we see you at SICK Week 2025?
At this point, we haven't made a decision. We're gonna do Street Eat this year in November. So we're
I'll see you
you
there.
know, try a little something different. Do little North Carolina, South Carolina, but Sick Week has always been our event because it is in Florida and it's easy to
Yeah.
get to. So I'm probably gonna push the limit and say, come on, let's go ahead and do it. And hopefully he'll say, okay, honey, we can do it.
That's awesome. Well, I'll see you at Street and Eat for sure. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the help.
Yep.
Okay, see ya.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, hey, listen, dude. I'm glad I got such a great co-host, man. I have no idea what's
Yeah.
going on. I've been switching back and forth here, so we'll see.
Yep. So I think yep, this picture's from
It looks like it's from the Freedom Factory, so I would think that's probably Sick Week 2024 on that one.
okay. And then this was the post here about what we just covered. So I know for kind of hard for me to read here, so I can't tell you what's all on there, but this is all about the drag strip here that she was just telling us about in Palm Beach.
Did you guys go over that the community leaders voted it down?
Yep, she had mentioned
Okay.
that.
Yeah. All right.
Which
Yeah,
which
sorry
is
about that.
definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It blows my mind that would happen,
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean something similar happened to our local circle track here. It's when it was built, there was nothing around, and now it's one of the major roads going through our town, and it's got overrun. So they've actually announced that where the track is, there is a car wash going in and a tire store, which we have multiple of those right in that area. So it's unfortunate, and everybody should do everything you can to help keep these tracks open, whether it be a circle track or a drag strip. We can't afford to have more tracks keep closing.
Yep. Yeah, that is for sure.
All right, well, that ends our Molly Motorsports segment here. So again, always appreciate Molly Sports for everything that they do. Giving us the tech tip that was posted on Facebook for us to kind of talk about, and always being a supporter of our show.
Yeah, they're awesome. And not just sponsors, but also racers as well.
Yep, 100%. And thanking of people, we want to thank you guys, all of our race car friends, everybody in here making comments, everybody watching the show. Again, you guys keep us going when we're up late at night, tired, and putting all this stuff together for the show. And we can't do it without our sponsors: Summit Racing Equipment, Driven Racing Oil, Molly Motorsports, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmission, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, Racing Junk, and our media partner, PowerTube TV, and the Gentleman's Agreement. So we talk about this every week, and it's important to us because we're going to continue doing this because it's what we enjoy. We love the drag and drive culture. We love the drag and drive racers. We love all of that and bringing you the coverage. But we talk about it. It's time consuming. It's expensive traveling to events. So the Gentleman's Agreement says that you guys will share this stuff out for us, like, comment, and in turn, we're going to keep doing our best to provide the best drag and drive coverage that we can for you guys.
Man, yeah, please do. Please do.
And PowerTube TV, we talk about them, our media partner. We give them exclusive content, and you can see replays of this show over there as well. So rev up your engines with PowerTube TV, the ultimate destination for automotive entertainment. Stream for free on the web, Roku, mobile apps, and more. Catch replays of our shows and exclusive content from top creators, featuring classic like Pinks and Pastime, plus original new shows. PowerTube TV isn't just a platform, it's a community. Join the Content Creator Development Program, like we're in, and be part of something special. You can find more at watchpttv.com.
Yep. And new note here, Pastime is coming back. If everybody remembers that show, if you're a car guy, you probably watched that show and guessed with them. It's coming back with shows and events in 2025. Ray Iddings posted that the other day. I'm so excited. Well, I mean, Power 2 posted it, but I've been tagging him and all the folks saying, yes, please, we're ready. So I can't wait. I will tell you guys, I've been begging to be on that, be just part of the production. I don't care what I do. I'll move those stands up for people. I don't care, but I'm excited to see the differences between like what would have been, what's that, mid 2000s that Pastime was on, and what
Probably.
stuff now, 20, maybe mid 20 teens. What does 10, 15 years in technology get us for Pastime? How can they make it different? Then it's going to be not just the same show, but also, dude, think of the cars. Think how hard it is now to see to pick an 8-second car
Hmm.
with how quiet cars are and big turbos and all that kind of stuff. Man, that's going to be a great one to watch.
Yeah, that's super exciting. NHRA stock also said Pastime was awesome. That's great news.
Yep. Yeah. Lots of really neat stuff. They're building out an entire system over there. If you haven't downloaded the app for your smart TV, you need to do that. It's really, really cool. When I'm here working at the house, I literally just turn it on and put it on one of the podcasts. Speaking of podcasts, you see all these over there as well as some exclusive content, like Eric said earlier. But Eric doesn't even know this. I was told last time I was talking to Ray that we're consistently in the top 2 or 3 podcast viewership and length of watch right here on the Drag Driver Pete Show.
Dude, how cool is that?
I mean, it's pretty neat, dude. Because they got some real talent over there, like Joe Costello at WFO Radio. I mean, there's some really, really high dollar, influential people over there doing some really cool stuff. And for us to be in there, man, it just makes me want to double down and work that much harder.
Oh, for sure. And you know why we're up there, right?
Why is that?
It's because of all of our race car friends going over there and watching our shows and supporting us.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that's how we get there.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, let's get to the Howard's Cams community segment, and then we can bring on Casey and Carl here shortly.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and hit this video and then we'll get going.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend Luke B for your next valve train upgrade.
Yeah, I love Luke B. Talk to him. Man, there's some fun stuff coming. I'm telling you guys what, it's going to be awesome. Well, let's start off. Obviously, this segment also covers community news and updates and things that aren't just event updates like the driven segment, but it also has our guests in it. Tonight, Carl and Casey are going to be on here talking about some updates, some event updates for Drop the Hammer, and something else that's going to be going on in 2025. But first, y'all, we need your help. If you guys remember Pittsburgh High School last year, Felicia Smith ran she was out front leading the charge on these kids at Pittsburgh High School in the automotive shop class, getting this car to racing form and ready. So they need some things. They are really, really close to getting this car running again. And so they need a battery, they need upper shock mounts, they need sway bar end links, spark plugs, and I don't have it on this list, but lower control arms. And I think this car is ready to go. They're looking for, they've got to get that stuff so they can get it running to then see what they really need. So my plan is right now I want to do some donations. I'm going to start off. I'm going to put $50 in the pot for these kids. I'm going to put it on a Summit Racing gift card. So if you want to donate for this high school class, let me know. Get with me on the side or message the Drag Driver Pete page or send dragdriverpete@gmail.com an email. Let me know that you want to get involved. We'll hook you up. I want to basically for the next 2 weeks collect donations, and then I'll buy a Summit Racing gift card and I'll send it to these guys. Now they also have an O'Reilly's right down the street. So if you have a um, like an account with O'Reilly's, I think you can pay for stuff at another store. So if you would like to do that, the guy that runs this is called Adam Nunn, Nunn is his last name. So if you'd like to be involved, I'll put all of that in the Drag Drive Repeat Race Car Friends Facebook group. Get him involved over there as well so he can know what's going on. We can keep up because the last thing we want to do is two people to buy a fuel pump for this car. We just don't want that. We need a running list all the time of things that are needed because these guys haven't even started racing this car yet. It's been down for several years because the school just doesn't simply have money to spend on something as frivolous as a race car. Well, guys, we're idiots and we have frivolous money for race cars. And so take a little bit of that and let's put it to this high school. So big shout out to Felicia Smith for introducing us to them. Rick Dodge and I stopped by there last year before the circuit and got a chance to talk to a bunch of the kids in one of the classes, and it was really fun. I mean, like I did auto shop in high school, and we did a lot of maintenance stuff for the other teachers' cars
Yeah.
and stuff. This was boring. We didn't have a race car. We had our teachers' 57 or 59 Impala. And it was a super cool car, but we weren't allowed to touch it. So he worked on that after hours, but it was in the shop all the time. So, hey, big shout out to Bucket List Mob. He said he's in for $50 too. Guys, this is a big deal. This allows those kids, those high schoolers to have the opportunity to go to the racetrack. They all came out last year. We were able to raise money to get 24 kids to come to the track on Saturday, free entry so they could get in, they could see this stuff, they could take a look at what all it takes to do, in our world, drag and drive, but just drag racing. And so I know we converted a few then. Let's convert a few more for this year because school's back in session and we need race cars out there, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. I hope we're able to raise a bunch of money for them so they can get what they need and they can get to the track.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the one thing I'm working towards is I would love to have almost like a fund that is collected over the year to provide for schools like this and to provide for opportunities like this for other schools to do it. This is just the only school I know about. So I know there's
Right.
stuff that's out there and there's parts that are laying around. This is a small block Ford. It's a Fox body platform. People have parts that are laying in their shop floor somewhere that would help these kids get this car back on the road. And then obviously we don't want them to stay at the same ET. We want them to upgrade and go faster and things like that. So yeah,
Yep.
this hey, hard target for $25.
Yep. And then Danny said Chad Reynolds had an O'Reilly account and is giving out the account number, must pay cash to get the discount. So
Hey,
another
that's awesome.
opportunity there as well.
Yep. Yep, that would be cool. Yeah, I called my local O'Reilly's to see how hard it was to have them, you know, can I buy something from that store and pay here? And they said you can do it. It just takes a little bit of time. So you have to kind of have an account already set up to get around that. So maybe there's some other ways around that as well.
Sounds like a drag drive repeat account.
Yeah, hey, that may be what we need to do. It's not a bad idea. I know we're working on something for with Summit as well on that kind of deal, but that'll come off here in just a little bit. So
Yep.
don't want too much details on that, but it's in the works. All right.
All right. So more news from the community here. Chuck Stefanski won the 6 shootout at the NMCA race. How cool is that?
Man, it's so awesome. I love that car. I love that dude. They've had a hard run at it the last couple months, and this is a huge one. They had all three big three racing cars out there tearing it up. Man, they went rounds.
I think wasn't there 4 cars there?
So you had Chuck's, you had the Duster, you had Bob Hess.
And then there was the F body.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is another big three car.
Yep. So super cool. We showed those cars last week, talking about the race that was gonna. Or no, we talked about it on Saturday, right? I think it was
Yep.
Saturday because that's when it was going on. So super cool. Congratulations to Chuck on winning that event. That's super cool, and I'm glad Tom and the SICK team is putting this together at different events. We talk about it all the time. This is great to introduce the drag and drive community to new people, new fans, and potentially new racers.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if anybody saw this. Motion Raceworks giving away the ZZ632 OBS shop truck this is cool. This was at Sick Summer. So I
Mhm.
got some cool pictures of it. Actually, I got this picture of it doing a nasty burnout. Um, like 20 minutes from my house at the auto museum, the historic auto museum. So super cool. I'm excited for somebody to win that because they can jump in and drag and drive that vehicle like today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ready, and it's won its class at Six Summer. Brett drove it to a class win there, so it's already a winning truck. It's gonna be cool. But I can't imagine the list of their fleet, man. That's what he was saying. He's like, "Hey, we got too many cars. We need to get rid of
Yeah.
some." So this is a cool one right here.
Yep. You better guarantee that I'm going to order. I mean, I already got a bunch of motion parts. They're literally, I have a box sitting under my desk where I am right now full of motion parts that I just need time to put on. But that's not going to stop me from putting in another order because I kind of like this truck and I would be doing that with it all around town. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's what's cool about big blocks, man. All right. Well, Thunder Valley Raceway, guys, Oklahoma City, I know in the last couple of years has been hit or miss. It's always been open, but it's always had rumors about closing or, oh, this is their last season or, oh, blah, 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 all this. Well, they made a post 2 days ago, something like that, said, let this post serve to put all of the unfounded rumors to rest. Thunder Valley Raceway Park will be open for the 2025 season. No ifs, ands, or buts. So that's kind of exciting.
yeah, that's what we need. We need to squash rumors, make sure people know the track's going to be open and get people to the track. We literally just talked about this. Support your local tracks, go to races, spectate, race, do whatever, but we got to keep the tracks open.
Well, and I'll get on that soapbox for a minute. A lot of times, drag racers are not good spectators. Everybody says it all the time, but dude, put that shit out of here. Like, just go rate. You're going to get to see your race car friends already. Your car's not done. You're not out there racing. Just go, man. Just go support a bracket night. Go support something to do out there. Buy a cheeseburger. Buy a corn dog. Go out to your local track just to have fun. I know it's very hard to go out there and not race, but listen to me. That will help stoke that fire just like it does me every time. Every time I leave an event, I'm like, man, I'm going home and I'm working on the car. And I do a little bit. I do for a few days. And now, hey, quick update before we bring the guys on. The Narcs cart has a replacement transmission. Now we're working towards can somebody cut open this factory torque converter and put some different stall in it, or do I need to find a used stall converter? And it's going to be on the road, and I'm gonna have given that thing away by the end of the year. I don't know where yet, or I know how I'm doing it, but you got to be following Narcoleptic Customs on Instagram to be entered. There's no purchase necessary. I got to figure out all the rules around all that stuff, but it's going to be given away. I will not own that car at the end of the year, I promise. And it's going
There
to be
is a
doing burnouts for somebody else.
there's a local torque converter shop here in town that cut mine open and checked it.
Mm.
It wasn't able to be restalled because of the converter itself was at the max that it could be. But there is a local company, and we have a torque converter company in town that actually
Oh yeah.
provides torque converters to like Summit and Jigs and all them. So
Yeah. Well, let's get in touch with them. You drive over there or get me the number and I'll call them.
gotcha.
All right. Well, I'm excited about this next segment here. This is fun, and I want to give a big shout out to Carl who made this possible. Carl Stansel III is the creator and man with the plan for Drop the Hammer, and then Casey on here as well. Now we're going to go through a little bit. You guys are going to introduce yourself, tell who you are and how you met. I think that's kind of what we want to do first. So, Carl, you start. Tell us who you are and the event, and kind of a recap of Drop the Hammer, and then we'll go to Casey.
Yeah, Carl Stansel started. I've been in drag and drive for. Let's see, my first one was in 2014, and I've worked on a little one here in West Michigan 5-6 years ago, but recently done all the sick weeks. And during the last couple of sick weeks, there was talk locally about we need to have another drag and drive. So I started Drop the Hammer this past year. Well, we tried starting it in 23, but we got rained out real bad. So we canceled the event. And then we came back and that was the fall of 23. We came back in spring of 24 and ran it May 31st through June 2nd at US 131 Motorsports Park and Mid-Michigan Motorplex. It's a 3-day event. We traveled about 250 miles back and forth between the tracks. We had 5 classes. It was unlimited, 28s/275, 545 index, 640 index, and dial your own. Had a great turnout for the first year, 54 cars. Everybody had a ball, so we decided we wanted to do it again in 25, so we're coming back in 25 and we're going to do it again.
That's great. I'm excited to hear that. So that's the first bit of news that you guys are getting tonight. So the Drop the Hammer 2025 is happening again. Now, will it be in the spring as well?
Yeah. Yep. That is May 30th through June 1st.
Oh, man, you already got the dates?
Yep. We got dates. We got 2 tracks picked out. I'm working on a 3rd one. A little mix to the setup there. I got the 2 tracks. If I can, if the 3rd track doesn't go through, the 2 tracks still committed to being able to make it a 3-day event. So if the 3rd one works out, we'll make it 3 days, 3 tracks.
How fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Casey, introduce yourself. Tell us kind of how, like, you tell us who you are, Drag and Drive history, and then lead us into how you met Carl.
Casey Banner. One Drag and Drive and did not finish. And really the whole reason why I got into Drag and Drives, because I used to do demolition derbies for 10 years and that gets hard on an old man real quick. So my buddies from way back when, Joey and Josh Darks, they both are in drag racing and Joey's been building his truck for 10 years. And he said, dude, get you a hot rod. Let's go racing. They live in Iowa. I live down here in North Carolina, and we're getting older. So we made a pact to where we were going to see each other once a year somewhere in the United States to go racing. So this was all decided last October. Went out, found me a 64 Chevy 2, somewhat race ready, not really, so from October literally to the minute before I hit the strip, I was building my car.
Yes.
And I mean, and I'm saying we did some big changes. We pulled out a 350, had a, stock bottom end, big cam, 240 horsepower to the rear wheel, and said, we're going big. We went 632, 10-1, naturally aspirated. Here we come. Right. So I don't even know if the rear end's going to hold, this car if I put good power to it. That's the only thing we haven't touched yet.
Nice.
We literally named the car Take Two because everything we have done to the car, we have done it twice.
Oh, yep.
So
welcome to drag racing, friend.
Right. I thought building a derby car for 6 months and then wrecking it 5 minutes was hard. Crap. This is something different, So we made the decision last October to meet somewhere in the middle. So, just so happened, Carl had his Drop the Hammer, like it's a weekend ordeal. Let's go out there and let's go have fun. Let's test it out, see what we think. Right. So we went up there and, of course, Joey made it all the way through. Well, almost made it all the way through. He ended up breaking a bell housing on his transmission, but he was able to make the last, cross the beams. Literally, I'm telling you, we had no testing on my car. We wiped out 3rd and 4th gear on my 4L80 that was not even the one I originally ordered. It was just, hey, give me that transmission, let's put it in. Ended up wiping it out going to the 2nd track. But I did what I had to do. I loaded everything in the camper. We took the camper to the next track. We went all the way through. So, but that's pretty much where I met Carl. And, we had such a great time. And, you go out and you go bracket racing to where you may get one run in and you're done. You might as well pack up and go home. with drag and drive, you can run 3, 4, 5, 6 times and you're driving your car. That was the biggest thing that we loved about it. And I got to talking to him how big that event was and how everything was going. I said, Carl, let's bring that shit down here in North Carolina. Let's show some of these northern boys, Midwestern boys, how we do it down in the South.
Nice.
And that's where we came up with Drop the Hammer North Carolina edition. And
yeah. So that's the second piece of breaking news we're talking about tonight.
Yep. So we're going to bring it to North Carolina September 5th through the 7th. Literally tonight, we just got our second track locked in. It was a handshake deal up front, but we're locked in. So we're going to start out at Galot, or we're going to start at Mooresville, run to Galot, and then back to Mooresville, which, what better way to do the racing community, but in racing world, right?
Yep.
So it's going to be good. We're going to pretty much do all the same setup as Drop the Hammer Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Same classes, same everything. We're going to have probably a little over 300 miles on ours.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be 350 or 150 to 170 per day, give or take,
awesome.
in that area. Awesome. So.
And the best thing about going to those two tracks is you have a lot of interstates, but there's a ton of back roads that will get you directly there. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we'll have to touch the interstate any yet.
Oh man. So what are some of the, what would be some of the route stops that would be down there? I don't think we've been to, I know I haven't been to Mooresville or Galot, either one. So I'm sure there's some really cool stuff down that way. Oh yeah.
You look at the map and you don't even need to, X out the interstate. It just takes you through the backwoods. I'm kind of hoping that there's a wheel manufacturer or wheel fabricator that's literally right on the route. I got to talk to them to see if maybe they can come on as a sponsor, and then Mooresville is literally, I think I mapped out 5 minutes from Pat Mootsy's place.
Oh, wow.
So, that's some of the key spots that we're going to stop.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool. And I love that Mooresville, Eric Yost owns that. So I'm sure he was all about it because he loves him some drag and drive.
Yeah. And that was one of the draws. I was talking to Josh Aguilat and he said, Mooresville might be a good one. Eric Yost is over there. I said, that's right. I forgot that he had bought that there last year, in the last year or two. So I reached out to him and he was like, yeah, let's do it. No qualms whatsoever. And, him being drag and drive, it just fits.
Yeah.
Him being longtime drag and drive competitor, it really fits to go there and do this with him. So.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. I'm really pumped about you guys taking on two. That's pretty, that's a big deal. It's a big deal to not do just one, but do two. And then also try and compete in some stuff, because that's the other side of it. I know Carl's a big time racer in this stuff and love the Blazer. It goes fast. Love the, I had a square body Blazer and man, those things are so cool.
Yeah. We'll see how much racing gets done this year with putting on two events. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah. Because the one thing about doing a successful one is now you have a base. You have people that came, but also all the people that are talking great about the event and all that stuff. So now it's just automatically going to grow if you do your stuff right, which based on the event this year, I think you did. Everybody was talking highly of it and all that stuff. It's going to be so cool.
Yep. Yeah. We're looking at some more sponsors this year for the race up here. We're going to keep sponsors separate, keep them local.
To
the two events. I might try and see if we can't find a sponsor that more of a national sponsor that can come on board for both events as a double deal.
Yeah.
So we're going to
take all of it you can. Show it to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. Be able to, this regional stuff it's for the guys that can't get to the big events. You got down there, North Carolina area, you got Street and Yeet, it's a big event, 5-day event. You got Drag Week that travels all over, Sick Week in Florida. But the small events, it gets the guy that can't commit to that full week, because it is a huge commitment.
Well,
for a
and what I
week-long
say all
deal.
the time, it's the gateway drug. Regional events are the way for guys to sell that to their spouse or to work. Hey, I'm gonna be gone a Thursday, Friday, and I'll be back Monday. I'll be tired, but I'll be back Monday. Or I'm driving home Monday, so you're at most you're taking 3 days of work off. So that to me that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And I think what we're going to see, we've seen a lot of it this year, is guys that want to do more drag and drives, but can't necessarily say get 3 weeks off every year. They can get 2 weeks off and 2 extra days and go do, 2.5 events. They go do 2 national events and then come do one of the regional ones that's close to them. And so as we look to expand the entire community throughout the next 3 or 4 years, we're going to see a lot of these type events pop up. And I love it, because what I love is, like, especially with like a guy like you that has done multiple events. Now you've hosted a successful one. You know what you're looking for. Like these are the kind of events that are going to stick around and be there, and people can plan on them. You're landing them on the same weekend every year. For 2 years. I mean, that's another big win on that side too. So that's a plus, man. That's a huge props to you guys.
Well, I mean, the best thing is how Carl and I look at it. He's a season opener. We're going to be a season closer, right? And if you keep the dates the same every year, then people have something to shoot for. People aren't tooth and nail being like, okay, when's he going to post the dates? When is the dates? If we can really pull this off, it should be the weekend after Memorial Day and the weekend after Labor Day. Mark your calendar. That's where we'll be every year, because like with me, I knew I had a target in October. It was the end of May. Build my car.
Yeah.
And when I say build it, I'm talking I ripped the floor pans out of this thing.
I see pictures.
Dude. Yeah, no thanks.
But it was
screwing new ones in over those. We got
right?
to a race.
But I mean, and that the drag and drive community is just so awesome that it could take a car gearhead like me, that's been doing one thing for so many years, and opens them up to something totally new. And it is the same as the derby world, right? They're willing to help you out, but you put that helmet on out there in the dirt, they're about to hand you your ass real quick.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're going to ask for their battery back when you're done. So
yeah. Yep. Well, and that's what's great about we say it all the time. It's like a nomadic tribe of hot rodders, man, just moving along through the country, trying to bringing everybody along. It's one of the best communities that's out there that I've ever met. Yeah,
we're excited. We're ready to, we still got some time. We got exactly a year to get ours planned. He's, getting his geared up. I mean, he's kind of got a head start for us because he's done it once. So,
so we're going to keep a lot of the same format down there as we did this year. For that, we're going to have the 5 classes. We're going to have our quick 8 shootout. We're going to bring back the Hammer Cruise for those people that don't want to go down the track but want to come and hang out with everybody still. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to do that at both of them. Both events are going to have it. So it's fun. The people, the Hammer Cruise, they get to do a poker run. So that gives a little fun for them.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
So we did that this year with them, and they had 5 stops instead of 3 stops that they had to hit, and then they got entered each day into a drawing for a prize. I think this year we did a Lego 69 Camaro, their Icon series. I don't know, big fancy car deal, and then a portable Blackstone. So give prizes out like that. That's it's fun for the car community. They can use while they're out there and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I'm telling you, the more we can get the opportunity for additional family members to come out with these folks, the better.
100%.
And the Hammer Cruise is a great way to do that.
Yeah, we had a few families actually ride along with their race competitors, wives, were entered into the Hammer Cruise because they wanted to come along and hang out as a family.
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, we're adding that class to we're adding something similar to that to the circuit. I just can't come up with a name. But really simply before that, I want to expand the opportunity for people to come out and enjoy themselves and not be, that just gives you a whole other avenue of ways to take care of people from the drag and drive side of stuff. They're going to be driving, they're going to be on the routes, they're going to be cruising, they're going to be buying stuff from local shops, from local gas stations, from local restaurants, all that kind of stuff the whole way. I love it. Well, any idea on car counts, things like that you guys have thought about?
We're going to keep it at around the 125 mark for each event. If it grows, if we max out after a year or two, we might look at making it a little bigger. But I like the smaller count because it allows the guys. We've got 4 hours of track time at 125 cars. The ratio of times you can go down the track versus the big events that are 6 hours at 300 cars.
Yep.
It just gives the guys a lot more opportunity to go race, and that's what it's about. You want to go down the track and have fun. You don't want to go make 1 or 2 passes, maybe 3, and be tied up in the lanes all day because car breaks down or, you just got so many cars to get through. With the smaller count, it makes it a lot easier to be able to make that 4, 5, 6. We had guys that were racing each other and going round robins, going in circles, so they're just having a ball doing it. And that's what it's all about, having fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the timing for the North Carolina event is going to be really cool because you have like Kakalaki Run that's in March. And then, this is going to be 6 months later. So to give some folks in the area great chances to do some drag and drives, and there's the timing of this. You could really use that as a test bed for Street Meet, which is the last event of the season. So perfect timing on that, guys.
Yeah, we kind of like my event, drop the hammer, the main one, the OG one, if you want to call it.
drop the hammer, OG.
Yeah, is in the springtime, kick off the spring.
Yep.
North Carolina edition. It's at the end of summer. It finishes off the year, kind of. And just kind of gives you a spread.
Yeah, that's going to be cool, and I think it'll be really fun to see who's going to make the trip. Who's going to make the trip from Michigan to North Carolina and do both? So I think it'll be fun to see.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I was thinking, was there opportunities to give like a class winner or something a guaranteed spot at the other event or something? Might be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, we did do a raffle. Each day we did a raffle for 4 or 5 different little prizes, and on the last day we did raffle off 2 entries to next year's event for my event, and then maybe we can look at doing something like that of giving away one for the North Carolina edition, and then flip-flop, do the North Carolina edition and give one away for 2026.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. We're already thinking about 2026, but that shows like how, that's what good event promotion takes is for guys to think ahead. You can't think about
I'm sitting
right
here, when Casey were talking about putting this thing on in North Carolina, and it's like, that's a whole year away, and we're trying to lock down tracks, and it's like, man, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you got to. And, when we first started hosting events, this is like year 12, I think, for me. You waited until February. For us here in this part of the country, like MoCan would be like, oh, we'll look at it in February after all the big events get wrapped up. Well, after the circuit last year, we started talking, or 2024, we started talking to tracks. Hey, what are some dates we can look at? When are things that we can do? And so, it just takes that kind of forethought, and the tracks are willing to do that because now they know they've got that weekend locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, originally we tried to do Rockingham because it was a little bit closer. Mm-hmm. And when we talked to them, they said, no, 2025 is booked. the whole year.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
we're talking this early too, right? Like this was probably 2 months ago, Carl.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah, they were booked solid for the whole year 2025.
That's crazy.
Right. So we got to plan ahead.
Yeah. So what's the official name for the other one? Is it Drop the Hammer North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina edition. That is September 5th through the 7th, right, Casey?
Yep.
Yeah, 5th through the
awesome.
7th.
And the OG is May 30th through June 1st. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure my notes are right because we'll put up something after this about this conversation. That's really cool. I'm excited about that for you guys.
Well, what's it going to take to get you guys there? You guys got to come to one of these at least.
I know, dude.
Else. Come on.
Believe me. Eric is closer. I wonder if we could maybe put Eric on a cheap flight over, or the drive to that track's not crazy far. It's probably 6 hours for you, isn't it, Eric?
To the Michigan one, which one is it?
US 131, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Michigan.
not.
Yep, the Michigan one is US 131. Don't
Yeah,
you
I
have
wanna say
family up
it's
here,
only
Eric?
Yeah, I want to say it's only like 4-something hours. I don't think
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Perfect.
So in other words, he just said he'll be there. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's all I heard was it's only 4 hours. Yeah. So he's there.
Yep.
Yeah,
add it to the list for sure.
Yeah, you only traveled 13 hours to get to mine, right, Casey?
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a guy on the trailer building the car as we were pulling it up.
He's working in the enclosed back there.
Oh no, it's open trailer, baby.
Oh, even better. Yeah. He's inside the car. He's putting toggle switches in.
Right. I ain't never heard anybody say that's a good looking trailer.
Yeah.
I want people to see what I'm pulling.
Yeah, right. Well,
Exactly.
Well, tell us what else going on. What do you guys have coming up? You got some events you're attending. What's I know Drag Week is in Carl's backyard. Are we going to see you a day of the event or a couple of racing?
No, I might stop in to US 131 when they're there.
That'd be cool.
I've done a lot the last month with the 6 shootout, then going to roadkill nights, and I want to start prepping to go back to Florida. Yep. Every year it's like right down to the wire prepping. This past year I didn't do that. I had everything like locked in by December. So I might try and do that again. It made it a lot easier.
Yeah, you're not, and I mean that's what we say all the time too. The thrash leading up to the event, it drastically increases your odds of failing. Yeah. If you're thrashing, if you spend 20 hours the week before and work at your regular job and spend 20 hours working on your car to get ready to go, dude, you can almost hang it up a lot of times because your brain function doesn't work anymore. You don't have the capacity to think through what would have been an easy, a torque converter bolt comes out. Oh, it's a rod knock, pull the rods, pull the pan, pull the motor in the parking lot, and turns out it's a flex plate bolt,
Yep.
So yeah, you've been down there. How many events have you done? I was gonna pull all that stuff up, but I didn't have time.
I've done all 3 sick weeks.
Wow, that's awesome.
Crashed the first one, blew up a motor in the second one, and made it through the week. And then this last year was pretty easy. It was cake. We went in prepared, so it was nice going in prepared like that. I think that made a big world of difference.
Yep. And then you live in Michigan, so what's your season like? I know you and Jay Blanchard and all those guys.
April-ish. It starts clearing up to where we can start the tracks open up, start doing some little testing tuning. And then I think this year the tracks are closed like the last week of October.
Wow. So that's a pretty good season. I mean,
yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, what else? What do we got to cover? What about you, Casey? Like, what you got events planned?
Not real sure. Still working out some bugs on the car. Went and did some test and tune after I got home. Got the right transmission in there. She shifts way better than the last one. It actually shifts. So no, just gonna keep tinkering on the car. Gonna try to go to sick week if possible. Still trying to get signed up. And then, just do some local events like cars and coffees. You know, these kids around here just geek out when they see a full blown race car pulling in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so we actually bought a trailer because before I didn't have a trailer for my car. So
Love
we're shoving slicks over to bars in the back seat and trying to figure out how to bungee it down and all that. So I said, screw with that. I'm buying a trailer. So I still got to get it hooked up, do some testing. Still got some heating issues. Definitely wants to overheat, you know, because down here in North Carolina, hell heat. It gets pretty hot in the summer. So, you know, I know it wants to get up above 225
Mhm.
driving. So it's not cooling while I'm driving down the road. So I got to get that figured out. You know, it's a big motor, you know, so got to
a
cool
tiny
that thing
car.
down. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
those cars weren't necessarily known for all their space.
no, and believe it or not, I did not have to cut the firewall.
Wow.
I'm not saying that the valve cover is not touching the firewall, but
Yeah.
You haven't
yeah,
cut it yet.
I haven't cut it yet.
Yeah, it'll self clearance. It's fine.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I got the fans in there. You know, I put everything on the front, shoved my fans in, and it'll self clear. We'll be fine. So, the only other thing I got coming up is MPK signing up for the 7.0 class. So, gonna run with those boys here in October. So, we're gonna see how we do there. Now that I got it going fast, now I got to figure out how to slow it down.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the last time I took it out, it was 678 consistent 3 times in a row. I think that's pretty good for a drag and drive event.
Yeah.
You know, now I got to figure out how to get it to 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm all foot
Throw
brake.
one of those slicks in the back.
Yeah, right. Pull my chute at the line or something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's a foot brake car, no trans brake, no nothing. I mean, it's straight up a man's race car.
That's awesome. That's cool. All right. Well, guys, thank y'all very much for breaking this news tonight. I'm excited about this. I'm excited for you guys. This is going to be a really cool addition to the regional events for the drag and drive community. I mean, I'm telling you, when we have promoters like yourself continue to add stuff to the events, it helps so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us on and letting us do this on the show. I mean, you guys, you're the news media of drag and drive, so you know,
appreciate that.
You're letting the news out now.
Yeah, I'm excited about this for sure.
Yeah, we are too.
Yep, sure are.
All right, guys, we'll see you in just a little bit. If I could have a favor, if you guys could stay on backstage for just a second, I want to make sure that we get the recordings done on this so we can use this and chop it up for reels and shorts and stuff like that. So if you'll hang out back there, we'll wrap this show up here pretty quick.
All right.
All right, thanks.
You guys.
Yeah.
How fun, dude. Man, I'm telling you, tonight's been a great show. And hey, I've only dropped out 1, 2, 3 times, something like that.
Yeah, that wasn't actually too bad.
Maybe we're getting closer. I don't know. It's tough on my side when I see that signal go, hey, there's not much here. I'm like, oh man, that scares me big time. So,
yep. Well, that's super cool. Love hearing news about new events and that people want to come and announce it on here. Obviously, we absolutely love that. So,
yeah, certainly appreciate those guys coming out here and telling all that. And then next week, we got Tommy Dupree on from Summit talking about his new build. That's going to be kind of cool. We'll kind of get some pictures. You know, we talked about that earlier. We didn't even have any pictures. It's that fresh. So pictures for it. And then probably going to do a shorter episode next week, simply because I'll be traveling that next weekend. I'll leave that next morning for Midwest Drag Race Series race at Martin at US 131. So hopefully up there, maybe see Carl, watch some pro mods, all that kind of stuff. So I'll be up there doing that. And
you're going to be there a couple weekends in a row, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
because Drag Week will be going through there too.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Well, everybody talks about how pretty it is. I'm ready to see it. So,
got a comment here I didn't get to pull up earlier. Travis Clark was asking, who did you say is organizing a drag and drive event in the Gulf states?
No one yet that I know of. I know
Okay.
at one point there was somebody was talking about one with along with cruising the coast, but nothing ever came of it. And I don't even know if they had it. Um, yeah, I'm going to have to go back through my brain there and think about who would be
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything offhand either. So
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, gives me one more thing to research.
yep.
All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up here. I want to talk to Carl before he gets out of here. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the comments. Lots of comments tonight. A lot of people taking part in the conversation. So I want to say thanks to all you guys. Thank you for being our race car friends. I'm telling you, it really is a big push when I open up that Drag Drive Repeat Facebook page when I've been working on something else and I see 20 plus, what notifications on there. And that always helps. So appreciate you guys for doing that. And then also thank you to our sponsors. Can't do this without they can't travel, can't buy our equipment, all that kind of stuff. Without Summit Racing, Driven Racing Oil, Molly Motorsports, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode of the news, which is going to be this Saturday morning. And I've already been making notes on it, man. It's going to be, you think last week's episode was jam packed, dude? Get ready. It's going to be hammer time. So thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you guys.